History 3. The Colosseum. Rome's Arena of Eternity. The origins of gladiatorial combat in Rome stretch back to the 3rd century BCE, when death and spectacle intertwined with ritual. Around 264 BCE, at the funeral of Decimus Junius Brutus Pera, his sons arranged for 3 pairs of fighters to clash in the Forum Boarium. This was not entertainment in the modern sense, but a solemn act, a blood offering tied to Etruscan traditions of honoring the dead. From this modest beginning, the Roman fascination with men fighting for life and honor began its journey toward becoming one of the empire's most defining institutions. As the centuries passed, the games grew from small funerary rites into massive public spectacles. By the 2nd and 1st centuries BCE, the Roman elite realized the political power of these shows. Gladiatorial combats were joined by hunts featuring exotic animals imported from across the empire. Lions, leopards, elephants, and crocodiles were displayed as symbols of Rome's dominance over nature and foreign lands. Temporary wooden arenas sprang up across the city, drawing eager crowds. What began as ritual sacrifice was now a grand stage for ambition, power, and the promise of distraction for the restless masses. The games found their permanent home in the reign of Emperor Vespasian. Between 70 and 72 CE, construction began on the Colosseum, officially known as the Flavian Amphitheater. Built on the grounds once dominated by Nero's private estate, it was designed as a gift back to the people. A freestanding amphitheater of stone and engineering marvels, it was Rome's boldest statement of power and generosity. When completed, it became the heart of Roman spectacle, a stage not only for sport and blood, but for political theater expressed through architecture. In 80 CE, Vespasian's son, Emperor Titus, inaugurated the Colosseum with a festival lasting 100 days. The arena roared with animal hunts, staged naval battles, and gladiatorial combats that drew tens of thousands of spectators. Blood mixed with sand, as Rome celebrated its might in a theater built for eternity. Soon after, under Domitian, the structure gained its underground hypogeum, masonry tunnels, lifts, and trapdoors that turned the arena floor into a stage of endless surprises. From then on, elaborate land spectacles replaced water shows, making the Colosseum the unrivaled center of performance and imperial spectacle. The gladiatorial system matured into a world of discipline and defined roles. Fighters, often slaves or prisoners, trained in special schools called ludi, under strict masters known as lanistai. Distinct types of warriors emerged, each with symbolic armor and weaponry: the heavily armed murmillo, the agile thraex, the net-wielding retiarius, and his counterpart, the secutor. These duels were not chaotic slaughters, but choreographed confrontations, shaped by rules, and designed for maximum drama. Audiences thrilled not only to blood, but to the skill, courage, and personalities of the fighters, who became reluctant celebrities of Rome. At its height during the reign of Trajan in the early 2nd century CE, the Colosseum reached an almost unimaginable scale. Games could last weeks, with thousands of animals killed in vast slaughters that symbolized imperial conquest. The empire's supply chains stretched from the deserts of Africa to the forests of Europe, delivering creatures and captives to Rome's arena. The cost was enormous, but emperors spent freely, knowing the games were more than amusement. They were tools of control, a reminder that the empire's power could summon both spectacle and death on demand. Yet time brought change. A fire in 217 CE, reportedly caused by lightning, damaged the Colosseum severely, and although it was repaired, the empire itself was beginning to strain. By the 3rd and 4th centuries, The munera, the gladiatorial combats, declined. Financial burdens, shifting values, and the growing voice of Christian critics turned opinion against blood sport. Constantine attempted to ban gladiator fights in 325 CE, and later emperors such as Theodosius and Honorius restricted the practice further. By the 5th century, gladiators vanished from the arena, though animal hunts lingered on into the Ostrogothic period, a fading echo of Rome's brutal past. The Colosseum itself became a survivor of history. In the Middle Ages, it was scarred by earthquakes, stripped for stone, and even turned into a fortress. Yet it endured, a silent witness to centuries of change. By the 18th century, it was consecrated as a Christian memorial and gradually restored by antiquarians. Today, standing tall against time, the Colosseum is no longer a theater of death, but a monument of memory. Its arches and ruins remind the world of Rome's grandeur, its cruelty, and the complex legacy of a people who turned blood into spectacle and built wonders that still endure.